The journey of 1,000 miles.
My name is Mata. Growing up, I wanted to be a banker, so I studied business administration. But along the line, I fell in love with tech and I started as a product designer. In my crave for knowledge and out of curiosity, I wanted to understand what it feels like to bring my design into life. I wanted to understand what it feels like to code. And then I stumbled upon Lita program. I was so excited. It was free. I registered for it and I was very, very excited when I got my congratulations message. And since 4 weeks, over 4 weeks, it's been so amazing learning. It's been really amazing. My facilitators have been so good. I'm really excited. Thank you to the Lita program. Thank you for this opportunity. I am really excited for this knowledge I've gained so far. Thank you.
I fell in love with cybersecurity and I actually went online to search for some courses. I found some, but the ones that I could find were basics. They taught only the basics of cybersecurity. Thankfully, I came across Lita, Ladies in Tech Africa. I applied for the course for cybersecurity and thankfully I was picked. It's been an amazing 4 weeks. We've been introduced into penetration testing, ethical hacking, and like the course outline for this, it's so much broader than the ones that you get online. And I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, once again, or good day from wherever country you might be watching this live session from. Once again, I welcome you to class. I want to believe, yeah, I can see messages. Good evening, Peter. Good evening, Adeyemi. Good evening, Abiodun. Good evening, Ayomide. Good evening, Kinsley. Good evening, Comfort. Good evening, Prevail. Yeah, let's have it coming. So we are all welcome to today's class. And today's class is going to be an interactive one. Please, if you can hear me, just drop a comment by saying I can hear you. Okay. Okay. Everyone can hear me. Okay, so once again, I welcome everyone to the third class we are having for this section, this cohort, video editing. And once again, I also promise it's going to be a very nice time. You're going to be learning, you're going to be unlearning, and you're going to be relearning. To those of us who are experienced in this already, to those of us who are beginners, and to those of us who are at some point learned, left it, now you're back at it again. I welcome everybody to today's class. So as you all know, I'm former King Tim Charles by name, seconded by Isaiah Bob Zaya. Bob Zaya was available yesterday and I will be available to take today's class. And who can remind me So who can remind me? Let's do a little review of what you did in class yesterday. Let's have the comments coming. What you learned yesterday. I'm waiting to see. Just drop it in the comment what you learned yesterday. Okay, sorry for the break. Okay. Olani Olani says organization of files. Aobajo says basics of video editing softwares. Ayomide Taiwo says we learned how to create folders. Oluwaferami Lori. We talked about organizing projects and its importance. Okay. Chioma says software comparison. Procedures taken before actually editing video. Okay, okay. That's okay. Let's keep it coming. I learned that we should back up our project regularly. Okay. Someone says popular video editing softwares where you mentioned Adobe Premiere Pro, CapCut, and DaVinci Resolve. Okay. So today is going to be more of a practical class. And as we all know, for the sake of this tutorial and this learning platform, we're going to be making use of Premiere Pro and CapCut. We're going to be making use of Premiere Pro and CapCut. So please, let's also drop our comments. Which have you been able to install Premiere Pro? Are you having difficulty installing it? Have you been able to install CapCut? Are you having difficulties in installing it? Okay. Someone is calling my attention to the version Adobe Premiere Pro C6. Okay, that's fine. Rhoda says I've installed CapCut. Okay. Okay, I have difficulties in installing Adobe Premiere Pro. Please, can you share the difficulty you are experiencing? I don't care. I installed DaVinci Resolve and CapCut. In as much as we would love to also educate you, teach you on how DaVinci Resolve platform works, but for the sake of this training, we'll just be sticking to two softwares. That's Adobe Premiere Pro and CapCut. So please do well to install either of them. Blessing Okonkwo says, I have not been able to download it on my laptop. Please, for those of us that has not been able to download it, what are the difficulties? Okay. Someone says I don't have the subscription money, so I cannot install it. So if you cannot install Premiere Pro, you should be able to install CapCut. CapCut has a free version. Justice says I have CapCut on my phone. Okay, Aderonke says I will download it tonight. I cannot find the right link or website to download Adobe Premiere Pro, as navigating Adobe website itself is hard. Well, just do a little bit of finding online, right? One of the things I said in the last class is this is a learning platform, so we do not encourage the use of crack softwares. So I can't make reference to where you can get that, but you should be able to find your way on the internet. What version of Adobe Premiere Pro are we to download? Well, we won't be restricting, because although there are changes as the version evolves, but there are similarities in all of them. So if you can get the latest one, 2025, 2024, is fine. If you have CXCs, it's fine. You'll see some changes, but they are all alike. 2020 is fine. 2021 is fine, like I rightly said. From C6 upward, you're good to go. Okay, so Raji Zainab says, is Premiere Pro the same thing as Premiere Rush? No, it is not the same thing. Premiere Rush is the, what will I put it now? Is the, I don't want to say mobile version, because it's not necessarily on mobile, but it's like the how do we now put it? It's also for video editing, owned by Adobe, but like a CapCut. Yeah, let me put it that way. A CapCut, like something you can quickly use on the go. Yeah, so that is Premiere Rush. The difference is Premiere Pro and Premiere Rush. So the same way you have DaVinci Resolve, there's also the other one, the paid version. But I'm not sure Premiere Rush is free. I also think it's a paid software. Can I upgrade my system to 8 gig RAM without changing my laptop? Azika Stanley Chinon, so please, before you do that, confirm your system has the ability and capability to run with that RAM you want to upgrade it to, unless that might be the end of your laptop. Make findings online about it, check your laptop specification. Adobe Editor, can you do the same thing, please? Not really. So Adobe Premiere Pro is the in-depth. It gives us in-depth and covers every other sub and covers every other sub application created by Adobe. Yeah, one thing is you can get a memory card. You're gonna That's by Fikayo. Depends on how your phone storage is being splitted. Okay, for people asking where you can download the Premiere Pro, I think you should just do that on the WhatsApp group chat, right? So that people who have been able to download will just give you the link and you can download directly from there. Okay, any other? Okay. If I have CapCut, I don't need to download Adobe Premiere Pro. Your preference. When you begin to see what we can do on Premiere Pro and you are able to replicate it on CapCut, it's also good for you. Okay. Okay, Oluwatosin Adeyemo, please sir, I don't have the link to join the WhatsApp group chat. Okay, I think the admin will reach out to you. Someone from the admin will reach out to you as regards that. Oh. Janet says the WhatsApp group chat is locked. We can't send messages. Okay, I think the admin would attend to that and get you a response before the end of today's class. Next slide, please. Okay, so let me just broadcast this so should in case you miss it, the message from Matthew Oyewole saying community links will be shared by the end of this week. Kindly stay patient as everyone will get in. Right? The community links will be shared by the end of this week. Kindly exercise patience with us and everyone would get in. So that is directly from the admin. Next slide. So today's class, today's section will be more of a practical section, right? And today we're going to be looking at two topics basically, which are importing media and organizing projects. And the second one is basic editing techniques, cutting, trimming, and arranging clips. Okay. Yeah, we're told slide will be shared. Don't worry. Please just exercise patience with us. You would get it before the end of this week. Okay, so today importing media and organizing projects. Can we still hear me? Okay, so next slide. So basically today, we're going to understand how to import video, audio, image files into your editing software, organize files for a clean and efficient workflow. Then the two softwares I made mention of that we're going to be using, Premiere Pro and CapCut. Next slide, please. Now, why it matters to us. Why it matters to us. They're going to be for good organization saves time, right? You know where this particular thing is. Just like everybody on this call right now knows where you know where your television is in the house. So when you get to the house, you don't go to the kitchen to go and watch a movie. So good organization saves time. Cleaner timelines equals smoother editing. Because when you begin to make edits that involves a lot of sound design, a lot of transitions, a lot of clips cut out, masking and all of that, if your timeline is not okay. Peace, Victor, thank you so much for that. I hope the noise has reduced. Let me know if you can hear me clearer right now. Then why it also matters for us to organize our files is it avoids us missing or losing files. Okay, please can I have the next slide? Next slide, please. So I mentioned this earlier that the software that we're using basically for this training is Adobe Premiere Pro and CapCut. So for those of us who will be using our phones to learn for edit, just pay attention to it because the interface of CapCut on desktop is similar to what you have on your smartphone. So if you are just able to pay enough attention, you would get all we are going to be talking about in this section. Please, can we have the next slide? Okay, so on the screen, what you can see is a screenshot or a screen grab of Adobe Premiere Pro 2025 interface, right? This is how the interface is. We're going to be having a live demo, but there's a little glitch in the network. But this is how this is how the Adobe Premiere Pro interface looks like, right? You have your timeline area, you have your display, your feedback area, you have the section for importing files, You have the section for editing and it like that. Okay, let's go to the next slide while we still come back to this. Please, let's go to the next slide. Let me also show you how the interface of CapCut looks like. So this is CapCut interface. Can we see the similarities in it? So there are similarities between the interface, both Premiere Pro and CapCut, and part of the similarities are the timeline section, the feedback section, the import section, and the edit section. So all software have what we call the menu bar. All software have what we call the toolbox. So please, can we go back to the previous slide? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So now on this previous slide, see where we have the what's wrong with this network? I should be able to join my other device. So you can see my pointer, my mouse pointer. Okay, let's just still go on while I'm trying to connect from my other device. So there is the toolbox where you have your mouse pointer, we have the cut effects, we have the text icon. Is a minute. Okay, I can see a lot of concerns. It's not clear. You can't see anything. It's not clear at all. I think that must be network. That must be network issues. It's not bright here. I can't see the interface. Okay. Admin, please, can you see my screen now? Please, I'm sharing my screen. Can you activate that? Okay, can you see my screen now? I want to confirm you can see my screen before I go on. Okay, some person say they can see my screen. Please just hold on. Please just hold on with me. Just a while. Trying to sort it out here. Okay. Admin, please let's try switching the screen back. Let's see if the network is favorable now. Okay. Okay. I'm getting feedbacks. I can see the screen clearly. Odun Ban Ayomide, sorry I can't pronounce your surname. Ayomide says you can go to your YouTube to set your screen resolution to a high quality. If yours is blurry, Oluwafermi says go to picture settings and switch to 720 pixels. Okay, so let me continue from here. So this is CapCut that you can see on my screen right now. This is the import section where you import your files, I mean video, audio, or images, right? And on the import section, we have different tools. We have audio, text, stickers, effects, transitions, captions, filters, and the likes, right? So when we talked about organizing our files, which That is what we are talking about majorly today, before we get to the aspect of trimming and cutting our clips. You can import your folder. One of the things Bob Zaya, my co-facilitator, said the first day we were on the call was it's advisable for you to have a backup of your video clips before you start editing, right? So there are now some situations where you did not shoot the event, right? Or you just want to work on something very simple. So you get to download clips online. There are a lot of platforms where you can download video clips online. You can download clips from Envato. You can download clips from Pixels, on Splash, and a lot of that. So even after downloading, it's always advisable that you organize them in a folder, right? So then this long section we have down here is the timeline. But nothing will appear in your timeline if you've not imported it. And also in your timeline, you have the tools where you select, where you can undo, redo, where you can split screen, where you can track. Okay, so on this side of the screen, we have the details, right? Now, when we imported a clip, a picture, or whatsoever, if you've imported a clip into your timeline, then on this details aspect is where you will be able to edit, add effects, add your transition, and all of that, where you can do your tracking, where you can do your animation and all of that. So that will be all for now on CapCut. Now let's switch to Premiere Pro. Someone says my screen is showing me, okay, tutorial. Yeah, you can just either follow the tutorial or skip. So now this is how the interface of Premiere Pro looks like. We can see the similarities. This is your timeline. This is your tools. Here you have the text, the split, the razor, the generative extend, and this is my feedback screen. So one other beautiful thing about Adobe Premiere Pro is it gives you the ability to both Adobe and CapCut, right? You can determine what part of your workspace you want to show. Right now, if I don't want my feedback to show, I can take out my feedback. I can take out my timeline. Or to those of us that are working with external screens, you can take your feedback to the external screen and have your timeline primarily on your laptop for for a clearer view, right? So then if you come to your window, you can customize. One beautiful thing about Adobe is, for example, you come to this platform and what you want to do is just color editing, right? You've been given the project as a colorist. You can make your workspace look like that of a colorist. If it is post-production, if it is pre-production, if it is called editing, you can actually convert it to it. And if we also see the trend in the new age where we all have almost all our videos in 16 by 9 resolution nowadays, we would all will all agree. So there's a new feature that I can actually convert my Adobe Premiere Pro to vertical, right? I can have my feedback on vertical, so I'm editing for reels. I don't have to strain my eyes. I can build up my workspace to fit whatever production I am working on. So that's about that basically. So some persons are saying they can't see. Someone is saying I'm not following, sir. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let me speak with the admin. Let's have the attendance list now. Let's go on a break now. Let's see what we can quickly work on our end, and we'll get back to class in the next 10 minutes. Would that be fine? Yes, you can use Premiere Pro 2022, Elizabeth. So please, the attendance will be shared with us. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's hold on. The attendance can't be shared yet, but please just give me 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be back to this class. Let me see how I can attend to some persons' requests that are saying they are not able to see what we are doing. I'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, just let me know in the comment section. Please let me know if you can hear me in the comment section. Okay, okay. Please, can we move to the next slide? Yeah, I've showed everyone. We've all seen how the interface looks like for both CapCut and Premiere Pro. So can we go to the next slide? Yeah. Okay. So it's just basically how to import the file on the two softwares, right? So for Premiere Pro, you just go to File, Import, or there are two ways that can be done. You can click on three ways to be specific, right? We can also make use of shortcuts. So, but the first method would be you just click on File, go to Import, and once you click on Import, you see your Windows dialog box come up. Then you navigate to wherever your file is. Then you click on it, and it comes in. The second option is you can drag the file into it. You can drag the file into Premiere Pro. And the third option is you can make use of your shortcuts for those using Windows Control I, for those using Mac Command I, and you'll be able to import your either your video, your audio, your footage into the timeline. Then for CapCut, it's very easy. Once you just open your new CapCut file, it shows you the prompt of create a new project. So once you click on create a new project, you will be able to once you click on create a new project, you will be able to click on wherever your pictures are on your phone, or wherever your video is on your phone, or wherever your audio is on your phone, and you'll be able to do that to import your clips automatically. So, but one interesting thing about CapCut is it automatically organize your files in your timeline, unlike Premiere Pro, where you now be the one that would have to drag it into the timeline by yourself. Then one thing a lot of people do not do most of the time is they do not name their projects, right? Especially if we have designers in the house, I think they would relate more with what I'm saying. Where you are working on a file and you do not name it. So proper naming, right? Let's say this is a boot camp and you are working on a video for the boot camp. You save the file with boot camp, right? Instead of just leaving it as untitled project, because especially with Premiere Pro, when you don't save your file with the name required, untitled project will always overwrite any untitled project it sees on your disk drive. I hope we get that. So, but the beautiful thing about CapCut is, CapCut doesn't save locally on your system. CapCut files and resources are saved on the cloud. So, but CapCut has the ability for you to rename each of the projects you are working. Set project sequence settings manually. I would have loved to show us this, but the glitch in the network would not for now. So let's just continue like this. Then for CapCut, simple mobile setup. So on Premiere Pro, also be done on so these are the similarities between Premiere Pro and CapCut in importing our files and organizing our files. So, admin, please, can I have the next slide? For those of us who actually have this app opened on our end, for those of us who have Premiere Pro opened, I expect by now you should have Premiere. If you follow through this class, your file easily, you can categorize them, and one color categorize, right? You can decide to put all the all your images rose, magenta, or whatever color you decide to put them. So has anybody been able to please, can you still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, so welcome back, everyone. I understand the network glitch we've had today, but I just want us to confirm if you can hear me so we can just run through the remaining part of this class. So please, if you can hear me, just drop a comment that you can hear me. Okay, okay. Okay, so everybody can hear me clearly now. So we've talked about media organization, we've talked about importing. Please, can you also confirm if anybody has been able to import any file? Have you been able to import any file to your CapCut, to your Premiere Pro? Has anyone been able to import any file? Okay. Daniel Bello says yes. Omotola says yes. Aobajo says yes. Felix says all we need now is ideas to put us ahead of others. Okay, please can I have the next slide? So we're supposed to have a live demo, right? Where I connect my screen and you see me doing a practical importation of clips. Admin, please can you try putting up my second screen? I'm sharing my screen. Can you help put up that? So I just want to show us how to import. Okay, so I'm going to import. Select a file. So that is how simple it is. So after you've opened it, you just drag it to your timeline. So once you drag it to your timeline, you have it on your feedback screen you have it on your timeline, and you have it on your imports. That basically. So then let's to play the same thing also on exactly the same way. So admin over, let's go back to the slide. Okay, so what we just have here is just the best practices for project organization. Keep everything in one folder. We've mentioned this over and over again. Name everything clearly. Back up your files. Use templates or precepts, right? So these are just basic practices we should all know. So can we have the last slide, admin? Okay, so this is what will be giving us. Okay, Adeyemi Oluwaseun asks a question. He says, can I import audio files from my recordings? Yes, you can, sir. You can, sir. You can import audio, video, pic. You can import all of those file type into your timeline on both CapCut and Premiere Pro. So the practice, more like the homework or home research for us for the weekend while we meet back next week, would be import 3 video clips. You can decide to shoot the video clip yourself, a day in the life of a student. You can decide to shoot yourself, then import one picture, then one audio track. Organize them. For those using Premiere Pro, organize them in folders. You can also do folders also on CapCut. Put your files in folders. Then the last part of today's lecture that the network is avoiding us to take is splitting, trimming, and rearranging the clip. To do that, I have to do a live demo, which is the part we left for live demo. We will find a way around it and we would have it in the first class by next week. So please, are there any questions today? We understand, we hear you so well about the network glitch. We're going to work on it both on our end, and you also have to work on it on your end. It's a two-way transmission. questions? The assignment is due by our next class. Our next class will be communicated to us by the admin. Obu said, I, I could not import anything. Please, what software are you using and what was the difficulty you faced? How do we organize folder on CapCut? Okay, as soon as you import your file into CapCut, you would see if you right click on the file you imported, you will see a dialog box will drop down saying new folder with selected item. I hope you got that. T great. Tell me T great. Once you import the file, you right click on that file, you see new folder with selected items. Okay, Sunday Victor, please take the weekend to upgrade your system, upgrade your RAM. T great, have you been able to do that? Feolua says, I did not get how to import videos to CapCut. As soon as you open the application, you would see the icon import. So just click on import and your files, select wherever your file is in your location and it will come in. How do we name a project on Adobe? Oh, that's beautiful. So you can name a project on Adobe in two ways. Before you begin the project, or when you are done with the project. Once you close the project, you would see it in your last files. You can just go there. So please, Janet Olamide says, please, the naming the file, should it be done before importing into CapCut after editing? How do we name it? I'm not sure I'm clear on your question. After editing, how do you name it? After editing is exporting. When we get to exporting, you would understand that properly. But one other thing I think I can deduce from your question is you can also have organized your files on your system before importing them, because you can import folders both into CapCut and into Premiere Pro. So imagine that on your system you had already sorted the files, videos, pictures, images. Once you just go to your editing software, you just import those folders. So that is another way it can be done. Questions. Please, how do we save imported projects for reuse? And how do we submit assignment to DSA? How you submit assignment will be communicated to you. But how do one save imported projects for reuse? There are so many ways you can do that, especially on Premiere Pro, right? You can make a project You can pre-render a project, you can make it a sequence, right? So there are so many ways. When we get there, you will be able to do that. It is very, very easy, right? Let's say you are working on a movie production, for example. The intro of the movie, where you have the namings and all of that, and the outro, where you have the end and probably a short story, they are on different files from the main edit itself. So sometimes some persons export already, then bring into, but you can also bring the file into Premiere Pro. Works perfectly with Premiere Pro. I hope I've been able to answer Olasukomi's question. Ifeoluwa, I have tried downloading the app online. Haven't been able to. Which of the apps are you trying to download? Obong says I'm a bit familiar with CapCut. Adobe Premiere Pro is now my problem. Don't worry, it will no longer be a problem. Promise says there is no import on CapCut, just new projects. Promise, please confirm with me, are you making use of your desktop version, or you are making use of a mobile version? Because when you first open CapCut, it will tell you to either create a new project or you want to work on your existing project. Importing is different from creating a new project. Shalom says, can files be arranged when imported into the software and how? Yes, I have said that over and over again. You can arrange files in your software by creating folders in the software area. Okay, Promise says mobile version on iPhone. Yes, Promise, you have to create a project first before you can begin to import files. So Adelaku says, why can't I download Adobe Pro? I think it's not free. Yes, it's not a free to air software. It's a paid software. So guys, this brings us to the end of today's class. I'm so sorry for the network glitch, and we would work on it. And when we'll be meeting by next week, we promise you that it will be much more better. And also, we would have a rerun of today's class before we go into next week class. Thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate. I remain Famakin Luatimlen Charles, and see you in the next class. Bye.
My name is Ugochukwu Obunaya, and really amazing for me. Now, even beyond the teachings of content writing, the spiritual sessions, the prayer, the worship, everything has been overwhelming. It has been so wonderful for me. And I'm so grateful to Incubator for this wonderful opportunity. You don't get this easily these days, but then they've made this available to us, and I'm so grateful to that. And I'll recommend this to anyone I meet, anyone that is interested in getting more skills, either in writing, cyber security, web development. Everyone should know about this, definitely, and I'm going to make sure I spread the news and spread the gospel. Thank you so much. I look forward to much more and exploring my skills in the world at large for impacting God's kingdom.